Hi, everybody. Welcome to this, the pilot episode of News Goblins. Boop, 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 boop. Theoretically, we'll have a theme song at some point. I'm Jared.
And I'm Leslie.
Good job. Okay, so we got through the introduction.
All right, we're doing great. We're doing a good job.
Put a check mark down.
Check.
The recording quality on this one, well, this is our first one. It'll be a collector's item, like a misprinted stamp or a two-headed goat.
Do you collect two-headed goats?
Yeah, I collect two-headed goats.
Oh, okay.
That's why you're not allowed in the basement.
Oh, that actually explains a lot.
Yeah. So, shall we perhaps let the folks know what the premise of our show is? You're looking at me blankly as if you were the one.
Yeah, so News Goblins is a weekly podcast about all the news that's fit to know for nerds and goblins. We're going to cover science and video games and tabletop games and role-playing games and
Leslie is a close follower of the news.
I'm pretty obsessed.
And I am not. So I get a lot of my news from Leslie. And I think you're going to enjoy getting a lot of your news from Leslie.
And you're going to enjoy getting a lot of your jokes from Jared.
Oh, no pressure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You have to make this funny.
Womp, 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 womp.
Good job.
Okay. What's our first item today?
All right, so our very first item today, we're going to start with space, because I think you know how I feel about space.
You're not a fan?
Yeah, no, that's the opposite. Opposite. I'm actively wearing a NASA t-shirt, which I did not do on purpose.
All our listeners can see it well.
Yes, they can picture it in their minds. So NASA has been testing a new ion thruster that just broke records, and they think that it can get people to Mars in 40 days.
That's downright biblical.
It is, actually. That is actually pretty... Yeah, 40 days and 40 nights. So, like, a month and a minute.
So how did they test this?
That's actually a pretty good question. Nothing I read told me exactly how they... But, we've been to the Kennedy Space Center. We've seen the testing facilities.
We have. That's true. So they probably duct taped a squirrel to something and sent it off in space, if I know NASA.
Well, they didn't test it in space yet. They tested it in a facility. Like, they turned it on, and it's working. And the benefit of an ion thruster is it can reach a higher speed than a chemical thruster.
As we all know.
But it does not accelerate as well. So you cannot...
what's the difference?
Okay, so acceleration is how fast, like how long it takes, or the power to get from 0 to whatever you need to.
So the increase in speed.
Yes.
Okay.
And then speed is just how fast you're going. So an ion thruster can go faster, but it takes a longer time to get there. So we can't right now use an ion thruster to get out of the atmosphere.
Okay.
Which is an issue, because we can use an ion thruster to get to Mars in 40 days, but not quite make it up into space yet.
Okay, so the idea then is that there's a lot less resistance in a vacuum, so you can use an ion thruster because, you're not dealing with friction, gravity, and all the forces that would stop you from escaping?
Well, no, the alternative here is just a chemical thruster. So basically you're burning fuel, and an ion thruster is, you're also burning fuel, but you're burning it a little bit.
Chemical Thruster was my favorite 90s ska band.
Well, it's good to know. Yeah, so this one specifically, not only does it use the ion thruster technology, but it apparently runs them over an electrified field, which makes it go faster.
Okay.
But not accelerate faster. Okay,
so the first question that comes to mind for me then is, so how does it slow down?
That is another really... that's a big issue with space travel, right? Think about how they got Curiosity to land. They basically just surrounded it with balloons and shot it at the surface of Mars, and we're like, bounce, I guess.
Well, what this is bringing to mind is I recently read the Expanse series of sci-fi novels, and I believe they talk about ion thrusters in those books. And their deal is they get halfway to a destination and then they do the flip. So they used thrusters to turn it around, And so they point the ion thruster then at their destination to slow their inertia.
I think that's a theory, but it's not necessarily something. I mean, obviously they're...
No, you don't understand. I read it in a sci-fi novel. Oh, you read it in a sci-fi book.
So at this point...
I think it's true.
At this point, they just use math. They can't really
just throw
maneuver.
Math. They throw math out the front.
Yes. And then
it slows them down.
And then the rocket ship is like, oh, no, I don't want math. Ew.
And then they just leave a scattered trail of algebra in their wake.
You got it. Yeah, you got this.
That becomes space babies. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So now you're caught up.
All right.
That's really cool, and I'm excited about that.
Hey, Leslie.
Yeah.
That's enough science for
Too
now.
much science. Okay. Let's go.
Do you have one about farting? Like
I don't.
Drugs, 420?
Don't.
Okay. All right.
I wanted to talk about movies real quick. And this is...
The cinema.
Well, maybe we shouldn't do movies next because the movies thing I had is also something I'm excited about.
Welcome to Leslie's Cinema Corner.
Yeah.
No, hit me.
Okay, all right. So, movies I'm excited about coming up for the rest of the year. Thor, obviously.
Thorntonly.
Thornton.
That's the kind of humor I'm going to provide here.
I'm not mad.
On News Goblins.
I'm just disappointed.
Oh, it hurts. All right.
Justice League less disappointed. That trailer.
Okay. I'm gonna judge you a little bit for that pick, but go ahead.
Okay. Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro's sexy fish.
Huh. That I know very little about.
Yeah. So, basic premise, without spoiling anything, I think there's a woman who works in a secret science facility, and she falls in love with basically Abe Sapien.
Okay.
And then they, are we swearing on this podcast?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Fudge, yes.
Then they fuck.
Not that much swearing.
Oh, I'm sorry. They fudge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whew. All right. You got a little blue.
I think there's some other stuff that happens, but that's basically...
Okay, so from what you're telling me, I'm assuming this happens in the Finding Nemo universe?
I assume.
The Nemo-verse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. I mean, that sounds very Guillermo del Toro.
It does. It really does.
Does someone have weird patterns all over their skin?
I mean, the fish guy does.
Yeah.
But, and, there's an angry government man in a trophy.
Oh, yes.
So...
Okay, well, yeah, that sounds perhaps predictable, but I'm definitely going to see it.
It basically looks like Guillermo del Toro was told, "What do you want to do?" And he was like, "Oh man, sit down for this one."
He was fingering a fish as he talked about it.
Oh.
It's a visual.
Doesn't Guar have a song about that?
Kind of.
Okay,
it's called Fish Fuck.
Yeah, that's right. That's the one I'm thinking of. Last Jedi. Obviously.
Yeah, you buried the lead there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I wanted to talk about a movie that I'm excited about.
Yes.
And I don't know if you're excited about, because this was something I was excited about in middle school.
Okay, let's say it at the same time. 1, 2. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. What was your thing?
I'm talking about Blade of the Immortal. It has a live-action Japanese movie that is coming to the U.S. on November 3rd. And this was like one of the manga that I was like, oh, what is this? I like this. Like, this is something I could be into, and really kind of got me into comics.
Okay, I don't know the manga, but I love all the Blade movies. Is that similar?
Yeah. Kind of, actually, yes.
I mean,
it is similar.
Blade and he's immortal.
Similar, actually. So the basic premise is there's a girl whose parents get killed by master swordsmen, and she hires an immortal to track them down and get revenge.
That sounds like cheating.
Yeah. Yeah.
So wait a minute, though. This is always my thing with this kind of premise. Is the narrative, are the stakes high enough? Is there that narrative tension when you're dealing with the protagonist being an immortal?
I mean, yes.
It's the Superman problem, right?
Yes. Because the plot centers more around their relationship and relationships and like honor and duty, and not necessarily who lives and who dies.
Klingon stuff.
It's kind of, it's an older... it's not, Astro Boy old, but it's old enough that you can be like, oh, well, this is a cliche now. It's like, well, yeah, but they were kind of at the beginning of that cliche.
I was kind of a Lone Wolf and Cub fan. Is it in that kind of era?
No, it's after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. I'm old.
But I wanted to read you this quote about it, which is like, because at first I'm like, I'm not a huge fan of live action interpretations of anime, even the Japanese ones, which tend to be way better than the American ones. But then I read this quote, and this is from Harry Windsor of The Hollywood Reporter, and he says, "If you are going to see one outlandish and occasionally nauseating bloodbath samurai pick this year, this is the one."
Wow.
And I think we actually watch a lot of those.
I was going to say, we're going to see more than one for sure.
So, I mean, I feel like that, like, he might have been joking, but that's an actual recommendation for us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is it, so, how long has it been out?
It was released earlier this year, and it was at Cannes in, like, the non-competitive, just movie section.
Yeah.
And it's already been released in Japan.
Do you mean Cannes?
Cannes.
It's just Cannes.
I've always read it.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
I don't say it out loud.
Okay, when you said Cane's, I was thinking the wonderful chicken strip restaurant establishment.
Yes, it was played at the chicken
Which
strip.
is absolutely where I would want to watch it.
That is where I want to watch it. Is there a way that we can get Cane's and sneak it into the movie theater?
You know there is.
Okay. We'll use the big purse.
Yeah.
All right.
The big greasy purse.
Oh, gross. Anyway, I'm excited for that, and I will probably go see that in theaters. If any of the theaters around us are showing it.
That is wonderful, and I'm super duper excited for that.
Yeah. So there's that. That's my movie.
Awesome.
Do you want to talk about any of the other movies coming out? I mean, like, they're all very kind of exciting.
I mean, I'm very excited about Black Panther, but I think it's probably a little further away, right?
Well, yeah, and, Punisher is 2018 too. Like, there's a lot in 2018 we could talk about, but we'll talk about it when we get closer.
I can't make myself care about Justice League. I want to care, Leslie. I want to care.
I do too. I love those characters.
I wanted to be Batman when I grew up.
I wanted to be Wonder Woman.
I'm gonna see it. They know I'm gonna see it, is the problem.
I mean, the trailer just looked so... And it's not boring exactly, but just like, meh. They look like a fan trailer.
It looked like a collection of GIFs.
Yes.
I mean...
Action scene, one-liner.
Yeah. I mean, maybe... I don't know. Maybe my expectation for superhero movies has risen too far lately, but it has.
It has.
And we need to accept that.
Well, that's kind of it. It's like you're coming in the end of the big group superhero genre. Like, you're going to either have to redefine it or you're just making another one. And that's what it looked like.
But here's the thing, and here's probably going to be something of a contentious opinion, but you and I kind of liked Suicide Squad. And let's be honest, Suicide Squad was basically a collection of video game cutscenes.
Yeah, but Suicide Squad at least was weird.
Yeah.
This doesn't look weird. It just looks like a superhero thing.
I guess I'm just making the point that we don't automatically dislike something just because it's dumb.
No, that's true.
There's a kind of dumb we don't like.
Yes. I'm worried it'll be boring, not dumb.
Yes. Yeah. If you can find a way to make Justice League boring, you've really committed a crime.
Yeah.
Against a nerd culture in general.
Yeah.
Oh, but I think they're gonna do it. I think they're gonna make it boring.
I think they are. I mean, the only lines from that trailer were boring.
I'm Aquaman.
That's not the quote. All right.
I'm kind of soggy.
That doesn't tell me anything about the story or these characters.
I'm so soggy for you.
Okay, that's weird. You made it weird.
That's a different.
I think we should move on.
Okay, go for it.
Do we talk about Stranger Things 2?
The Strangening?
The Strangening?
Electric Boogaloo? It's coming up soon.
Soon.
It's fast. Mm-hmm. It's next week.
Yeah, I think so.
Or I guess this week, really.
Yeah, because this will air Monday.
Yeah. I'm super jazzed.
I'm super duper jazzed.
Yeah, Stranger Things was one of those TV shows that I felt going into it had been overhyped because I didn't watch it originally, so I just had a dozen people telling me that I had to watch it. And then shockingly, I was not disappointed with the result. It had its flaws, but they were the kind of flaws that I could easily forgive and still find it lovable for its faults.
And I had a lot of people tell me, like, oh, well, people just like it because of the nostalgia. But I didn't actually have a lot of that nostalgia. Like, I didn't take in a lot of media at that age.
Yeah.
I didn't have access to it. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Who's the guy who played the sheriff? His name?
You know I don't know this.
No, me either. No one knows. It's an unknowable
mystery.
thing.
Yeah.
But and he's playing the new Hellboy.
No one. His name is No One.
You're right, and he's playing the new Hellboy.
Oh, okay.
Did you know that?
I think I did know.
Did I know something you didn't know?
I did not know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the tables have turned.
Put that in your pipe.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna give you some more stuff.
Smoke on it.
Here in a second.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Stranger Things. Are they going to release it all at once? Is that going to be something I can binge watch in the first couple days?
Time.
Okay.
Because that's how I preferred it.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I think that the original would have been unwatchable any other way. Because it was so cliffhangery, and there were episodes that didn't really move the plot forward enough.
Yeah.
But since you could just immediately then go to the next episode, it just added something interesting to.
Right.
They really kind of understood how they were going to release it and what they could get away with because of it.
I gotta say, I was a little surprised you liked Stranger Things, because in general, you do not like horror as a genre, and you do not like anything containing jump scares of any kind.
They didn't do a lot of jump scares.
Yeah.
They did a couple. They didn't rely on them.
It kind of was a monster horror kind of thing.
Yeah, I can't tell you why it didn't bother me.
Yeah.
Sometimes horror just will destroy my head, and sometimes it won't, and that one was fine.
Well, I mean,
Ravenous doesn't. I love Ravenous.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite horror movies too.
Great horror movie.
I guess horror wasn't its main thing, right?
Yeah, it was more of an adventure story.
Kind of an atmospheric thriller kind of thing.
Yeah, there wasn't enough horror in it to be horror. It really, not until the last couple episodes, then it went heavy on the horror.
What was the monster, the Grumpalump? The spooky Jim?
I knew it.
The
Demogorgon.
Donald Gorgon?
We're turning into a review show, and we're a news show. Let's move on.
Do it.
Okay. So, video games that are coming up.
Yes.
For the rest of this year that I think are exciting. I mean, obviously, we're not going to do all of the movies and all of the video games every time because there are 6 billion of them. So these are my highlights.
I quit my job for this. I thought that's what we were doing.
Oh, that's...
All right, no, go ahead.
It's bad news bears. Wolfenstein, obviously.
Wolfenstein!
The new Colossus. Far Cry 5. And the new Call of Duty World War II. I'm just going to get all of the Nazi punching games out of the way.
Yeah, I sense a theme.
Yeah, those are all together. Assassin's Creed Origins.
Ugh.
You didn't like Assassin's Creed. I didn't like it.
I don't want to play a video game about me playing a video game.
Yeah.
I don't know why they have that framing device. It makes me angry enough that I can't enjoy all that good assassin gameplay.
I mean, it was kind of creative and fun. The first time I remember oh, that's cool. And they're like, okay, great. Well, we're going to stay. Now you have to play him. Walking around the office. And I'm like, oh, nope. And then they just made it worse. And the next... Anyway.
Why would you take a fantastical realm and then...
I don't know.
All right. Sorry, continue.
Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon.
Yes.
Yep. Which we'll probably get, even though we don't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been playing Moon again, as you well know.
I do know. How are you doing? What are your Pokemans?
I don't want to talk about it. It's too personal.
Okay, that's fair. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Mm-hmm. Monster Hunter World, which you might like because it looks kind of grindy.
I sense judgment in that.
No judgment.
There was a Monster Hunter game that I played on the DS. I wonder if it's in that series.
I think it is. Yeah.
All right, I'll check that out.
Looks pretty. You hit monsters with giant weapons, and then they turn into monster bits, and then you use them to make more giant weapons. But here is something I am interested in. And... I couldn't really find a lot of reviews for it.
Yes.
And it's only $20, which for me is kind of usually a red flag for a game, honestly. If you're not charging full price for it, why not?
Yeah.
But it's called Hidden Agenda, and it's for PS4. Mm-hmm. We were talking about getting a new system, by the way.
Yeah.
We might want to check out PS4 because our Xbox broke recently. Audience.
It turned into a grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah, it's not work. So we're now talking about, do we want to get another Xbox One?
Yeah.
Or do we want to get a PS4?
Can we love again?
Can we love again? We only got that a year ago, right? Because wasn't that our Christmas present to each other?
Yeah, I think so.
And we're not even to Christmas yet, and it's broken.
Yeah. I had to do kind of a self-assessment, and it was sort of like, I don't know, send us in for repair. And then, you check the Microsoft website, and it says, send it. Maybe you'll get it back. So, I don't know. It might be time to try the PlayStation.
Yeah. Anyway, this is for PlayStation 4. So this is the description I found of it. Blending elements of movies and video games.
I like those.
But the combination honestly sounds terrible to me. Like, movies are movies and games are games. Quit with the cutscenes. This narrative-driven adventure drops you into a tale rife with chilling moral dilemmas. Up to 4 of you can join in and influence the story. But beware, not all of you will be working towards the same objective. So the way this works is basically the game is like playing. And it's a murder mystery, like you're investigating this murder. And it works with your smartphone. And when there's decisions, the group votes, but nobody knows what anybody else is voting. And based on your votes, the game sends you messages and clues.
Oh, I'm going to own you guys at that.
Yeah, you think?
My KD ratio is going to be so much higher than you guys.
I don't know.
I'm going to get all the achievements.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to make you look like a casual.
It's mean. Doesn't seem like a nice thing.
And then I'm going to camp you.
Doesn't seem like a nice thing to do.
Well, yeah, that sounds exciting. Yeah, it's a smartphone thing?
Yeah. So it's basically, and I kind of hate this idea, but PS4 is trying to find ways to involve people in the games who are not used to or like the controller, which part of me is like, then buy a Wii. But I also understand if you have a PS4 and you have a big family or a party or something, you want to have games for
You're
people.
so elitist.
I know. I don't like when the big craze was the bars for the motion capture and things like that. I just was like, no, I'm up all day, I'm working, I want to sit on my couch and play my video games. I don't want to get up and dance around. I'm a little bit more into virtual reality.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the same thing. Like, I don't want to get up and jump around. Like, this is my quiet time.
Do you think when virtual reality becomes prevalent, there's going to be a VR game of Assassin's Creed where you're playing a guy who's playing a guy who's playing an assassin? Sort of 3 Dreams Down, Inception style?
Probably. I wonder if the audience can hear our dog.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
He's a
this
grumpy
segment
dog.
is Our Dog is Barking.
I think Oscar tells us that we're about out of time.
I think so. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in to our very first episode. We'll be back next week.
We will be.
With more nerd news.
Yep, our guest will be Samuel L. Jackson.
That is not true.
Okay.
No?
Talk to you later.